Welcome to Alley Chats. I'm Rob Southgate, and today with me, I have a friend of mine that you may have heard on other shows I've done, but never here on Alley Chats, Russell Lissau. Russell, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks a lot for having me. It's great to see you again.
Oh, it's really good to see you. It's been at least a year at this point. With COVID, we've been a little isolated. Russell used to come to, we did these live microcons, and you were a regular there.
Oh, I love those.
Oh, they were
Absolutely
great.
Love those.
They were great. And I have audio that I can never share because you told some stories where you're like, yeah, this isn't for air, but here's a good one. A lot of fun ones.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I'm just really excited to see you again and to get you on here. So you have a new book. But before we talk about this book, spoiler, I loved, tell people about yourself a little bit so they know why you're on here.
Sure. Well, thanks for having me again, Rob, and it's good to see everybody in this year of the plague. I'm Russell Lissau, and I'm a comic book writer. I've been writing comics now for 15 years. Rob, can you believe it? 15 years.
Crazy.
Everything from the Batman to Strawberry Shortcake to Shrek to the critically acclaimed thriller Old Wounds that came out. Somebody reminded me 5 years ago this year.
Oh, wow.
Old Wounds came out.
I think I only picked it up a year ago. That's how behind the times I was. What a great book.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And we are promoting this week and absolutely excited about a new miniseries called The Hardways that we are self-publishing through our own Double Down Comics. And the creative team is me, artist Sean Richardson, letterer Josh Southall, and colorist Juan Romero.
So this is a limited series. How many issues is this going to end up being?
It'll be a 5-issue miniseries, and then collected, of course, into a trade paperback and hopefully a hardcover.
And yeah, hopefully, because I would definitely want that. So tell me, you say it's a miniseries. Is it one and done, like 5 issues and you're out, or do you see a universe expanding out of this?
No, it is a self-contained crime story. Very much like Old Wounds was. The Hardways is the story of a kidnapping in Las Vegas. And as you can imagine, in any good noir or caper story, everything goes wrong for everybody involved. Not just the kidnapped victim, but for his abductors as well. And the advanced praise, I'm sorry, I blanked on that. The advanced praise has been terrific. We're getting some great reviews and great word of mouth from people. My dad, who is not a comic book fan at all, read the first issue yesterday and went, "Where's the rest of it? I want to know the rest of it."
Well, it ends on a great cliffhanger.
Thank you.
And I got to tell you, as I was reading it, I'm not spoiling anything, but as I was reading it, I knew it. Not just what the betrayal was, but I knew, like, something's wrong with this person.
Right.
I knew it. And when it got there, the artwork was excellent because you had, I said, once again, I don't want to spoil anything, but you kind of had the trick hidden down at the bottom of the frame. So at first you're looking like, who's this? And you're like, oh yes, I loved that. This really got me. I got to tell you, I'm reading right now. I'm on volume 4 of Criminal.
Oh, excellent.
And this is reminding me of Criminal. That's high praise because, man, as much as I'm enjoying that, I read this, I'm like, oh, I need this. I need this to go with my Criminal stuff here. Stray Bullets is another one that's like that I just I can't get enough of. I think you've tapped into something here.
Thank you. The big influences for me, I've always been a crime fiction fan. And when I discovered that there were crime comics, was back when 100 Bullets came out.
And I'm a huge fan of 100 Bullets too.
That opened my eyes. That was also the first Vertigo series that I ever collected. That opened my eyes to the fact that comics were more than capes and cowls.
Yeah.
And you see, look, I've stolen from Brian's writing style liberally through my career. Not content, but the way he paces a story, the way he delivers a story. And Brubaker does that really well in Criminal too. That it's a slow burn throughout Criminal, And if you're into volume 4 now, wait till you get to volume 5, because volume 5 will blow your mind.
Yeah, because volume 4 is blowing my mind right now. I'm so invested in this story.
Yeah.
And there's a funny thing that happened in it where I started thinking they were separate stories with a loose thread, and there was just one panel that told me this is all connected.
Yeah.
So now I'm really I bet volume 5 is where that all those threads come together. But man,
excellent.
It's excellent. And this reminded me of that. In fact, as I was reading this, I know that you had mentioned, if you're a fan of Ocean's 11, if you're a fan of, I think you said Elmore Leonard, I'm like, yeah. This is right in there. This is a Jackie Brown type of story where you've got these characters that are people you could meet every day, but they're still crazy characters.
Yeah.
But they're normal people. Like you're tapping into that normalcy, but how interesting they are.
This is also the first series that I've written that doesn't have a traditional hero either. I mean, it's got a protagonist. Maury, the kidnap victim, is clearly the protagonist of the story, but he's not really a good guy. He's not a bad guy. He's not a Tony Soprano villain, but he's a flawed individual. He's got a gambling problem. He's got a womanizing problem.
Yep.
And I think the reader is going to empathize for him and sympathize with him, along with other characters in the story that you meet as the story goes along. I'll tell you, you haven't met everybody yet.
Oh, I'm sure.
At the end of issue 1, there are characters to come you are going to love.
Yeah, I felt like I was just getting a little entry here.
Yeah.
And I love it that it's 5 issues, so you're about 20% into the story.
Yep.
And the way it ends is, if you know script writing, at the 20% mark, that's usually like, here we go. And that's how it left me. I just went, oh my gosh, what is about to happen? And I can tell I'm not going to get all the answers in issue 2 either.
Yeah. The trick with any good crime fiction comic or a mystery comic, you want to end each issue on a cliffhanger. And John Bivens and I did that marvelously well, I think, with Old Wounds.
It definitely.
And Sean and I definitely do that with the Hardways. You're going to get to the end of each issue, and everything is up in the air. Everything is turned on its head, and it makes you want to pick up the next issue.
Yeah, that's definitely how I felt here. I did want to point out you had a nice little Easter egg in there too. Darwin sitting at the table over there. I was like, oh yeah. As soon as I saw the name, I went, I know who that is.
This book wouldn't have happened without Darwin Cook. His Parker novels, the graphic novel adaptations, were such a tremendous influence on the crime writing that I do.
Okay.
And it was through those Parker hardcovers that I discovered his work, and I became a tremendous fan. And I had the fortune of meeting Darwin and his wife Marcia at MegaCon in Orlando in 2015, only a year or so before he died. And we had a wonderful conversation at the hotel bar. It was, you got time for a good story? This is a good story.
I always have time for a good story, Russell.
This is a good story.
And I know you got them, so let's hear it.
So I had gone to MegaCon with the new Parker hardcover in my travel bag.
Okay.
It was the second one, and it had just come out, and that was going to be the book I read on the plane. So it's in my carry-on bag. I get to the hotel. I'm waiting to check into the hotel, and it's a beautiful hotel, and I'm looking around, and Darwin and Marcia are in line behind me. Now, I've never met Dar.
Sure.
And I want to talk to him. I want to give him the book to sign. I want to gush. But I know that he's just traveled from Canada, and I just got off a plane, and we're both probably really exhausted, so I wait, and I don't bother him. And I check in and go my way, and he goes his way. Well, the next day, I'm at the hotel bar, and on the other side of the bar is Darwin Cook. And I'm with a friend of mine, and I tell her, who that is, and boy, I'm starstruck, and I never get starstruck. You know me, I never get starstruck.
Right.
And she says, "Look, if you don't go talk to him, I will." And I go over and I introduce myself as Mr. Cook. I'm Russell Lissau. I'm a comic book writer. I wrote Batman for a while. I'm writing crime comics now, and I just want you to know what a terrific influence you are, and thank you for your work. And he looks me up and down, and he's kind of a gruff-looking guy. He looks like a film noir character.
Okay.
He looks me up and down and goes, "Give us a hug." And I give him a hug, and we share a beer, and he introduces me to Marcia.
Wow.
And it was really, really sweet. And we talked for a few minutes. And, unfortunately, he passed away not long after that. And it was tragic. And it's still very, very sad.
Yeah.
When you think about creators who left the world early and the art that they could have gone on to produce.
Sure.
He had 20 years, 30 years worth of work left in it.
Yeah. And what would have been very influential work too. Yes,
tremendous work. The rest of the Parker series, for starters, and it was very sad, and I think about that a lot. And as I was writing this, I knew I wanted to introduce a character in a certain way. There's a female character in the series who I wanted to introduce as kind of very conniving and very, not so much a gold digger, but an opportunist.
Yes.
And that she was going to be talking to somebody at the bar and then go leave to talk to our protagonist, and that's how they would meet. And I just struck on the idea of Darwin Cook sitting at that bar. And there are actually 3 other Easter eggs in that scene.
Oh, I'm going to have to look.
The other people sitting with him at the bar are Jimmy Palmiotti, Frank Thierry, and Amanda Connor.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And I reached out to the 3 of them and to Marcia Cook to make sure that it was okay that I used their likenesses in the story.
Sure.
And they all loved it. And I communicated with them. And Jimmy and Frank are friends too. So I wasn't really concerned about that. But I sent them the script. I sent them the black and whites. I sent them the color. I sent them the lettering to make sure that they were okay with it each step of the way. And fortunately, I had their blessing, and we had that scene, which is really just a 1-page homage to, this man who had such an incredible body of work in such a really short time in comics, and was such a great influence on me. So I was happy to put that in there.
Oh, I love it. And, I got to say, as somebody who didn't know your history with Darwin, I knew it as soon as I saw that. I knew who it was. And it was like, it caused a rush, which is what you want.
Yeah.
You want it to be a tribute. You want people to go, oh, and it totally worked on me.
Thank you.
Russell, we got a couple of things. First of all, before we go any further, where can people pick up the Hardways?
Well, this is terrific. Starting November 1st, the book will be available at 3 online stores. First, mine, which is russell-lissau.square.site. And I'll spell that for you. I'd have a sign or something. It's RUSSELL Lissau, LISSAU.square.site. And it's also available at the Square sites for Sean Richardson, our artist, which is wonderrealm.square.site, and joshsouthall.com. You can also get it there. Soon, we don't know how soon because we don't control this, it will also be available on Comixology as a Comixology submit download.
Excellent.
The version that you get at our stores is digital. We're releasing this as a DRM-free digital download because there are no Comic-Cons right now.
Right.
There's no point in printing a book that we can't sell to people. So for right now, we're releasing it digitally. The Comixology story will be the 20-page issue number 1, and it'll probably be priced at 99 cents or $1.99. I don't think anybody's figured that out yet. And that should be available with any luck within the next couple months. I'm going through the submit process now.
Sure.
As of Sunday, as of November 1st, you can buy a 38-page special edition, which has the full 20-page story, plus a ton of bonus stuff. The full script, character designs, essays for me and Sean, really wonderful extras that you'll only be able to get in the digital version from our online stores.
Great.
And what's great about that version, which by the way will be $5, what's great about that version is that it's DRM free, so you can download it as a PDF and read it however you want to read it online.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Excellent. Another thing, I will put this stuff in the show notes. I will put links to where people can buy this stuff. So that will help. So if you want to buy it, you didn't have a pen out, we'll make sure they're in the show notes. Also, we'll put your social media in the show notes. Is there any social media you want to give out while we're talking?
I'm on Twitter. We're all on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @RLissau. And I'm on Facebook I got to think about this. It's facebook.com/Russell Lissau.
Okay. Tell you what, we'll make it easy.
I was trying to remember if there was a period or a dash in there. There may be a period in between my first and last name.
We'll make it easy. We'll get it right, and we'll put it in the show notes. That'll make it really easy, because I doubt anyone's listening like, oh yeah, I better type this into my phone right now. They'll look at those show notes and hit the link. So, okay, we got time for one. I hate to shortchange this question because I know you're going to have a good answer, but I have an appointment after this, so I'm going to have to shortchange you, but I want this answer. It's COVID. We don't have our cons, right?
Yeah.
So now we're creating a dream con, and this stretches all time and space. Who would be the number one person you would want to meet?
Who would be the number one person who I would want to meet at a con?
Yes.
Boy, that's a great question. What creator in this business? Who's a creator who I haven't met yet?
All time and space.
Time and space?
Yeah, if you want.
Well, it's hard because I've been doing this a long time. Plus, in my job as a reporter, I've met a lot of my comic book heroes.
Sure.
I've met Tim Sale. I'm friends with Tim Sale. I've met Stan Lee. I've interviewed Stan Lee.
Sure.
I would really like to sit down with Neil Gaiman. I've met Neil. He actually came to Chicago when one of his comics was adapted into a play in the 90s. And I sat a couple seats away from him, and we never talked.
Okay.
And I would
this
love
seems to be the story of your life, Russell. You're always 2 feet away from somebody and you don't talk to them.
I would love to sit down and have a chat with Neil Gaiman just about comics and writing, and to tell him how much he's influenced me, of course, but also to learn from the master. I think that'd be a great get for a con.
I think that's an excellent answer. In fact, I would love to get him on this show. I guarantee you it won't be a 15-minute interview if I make that happen. Wow, Russell, that's a great answer. Thank you so much for being on. Everybody, buy the Hardways, support this. And when you're ready to do that hardcover and you have a crowdfunding for it, which I'm assuming you will, let me know, and we'll have you on Go Fund This, and we'll let people know about that too, so that people can support that, because I'm sure you will have fans. Once they start reading this, they're going to want to support this project.
Sounds great. And that's exactly the plan. We're gonna build slow. We're gonna do this grassroots. And once we've got an audience, whether COVID is still happening or not, once we've got an audience through the single issues being released, we're gonna release a trade paperback, and hopefully we'll have the support to release a hardcover too.
I believe you will. I believe in you, Russell. Thanks you again, buddy, for being on. It was great to see you.
It was wonderful to see you too. Be safe.
You can find Alley Chats on Facebook by searching for @AlleyChats. You can also visit us at our webpage, smgpods.com/AlleyChats, for links to all our episodes and other cool stuff. One easy way to support our show is to rate and review Alley Chats wherever you listen to your podcasts. Those ratings really help us out and help others find our show as well. Alley Chats is produced and edited by Rob Southgate for Southgate Media Group. Be sure to subscribe to Alley Chats because you definitely don't want to miss an episode. Thanks again to our affiliate sponsors, Hunt-A-Killer and Tweaked Audio. Links to them are on our webpage and in the show notes. This wouldn't be possible without them. Our theme song is by Benny and the No Goods. Check out their awesome music at bennyandthenogoods.bandcamp.com. If you're an artist or writer or creative type that would have a table at an artist alley and would like to be on Alley Chats, message us through the Facebook page or email us directly at southgatemediagroup@gmail.com and we'll set up an interview. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow with another fantastic show.